welcome to another live and the 1 year anniversary special because it's been a whole year. Can you guys believe it? Oh my God. Oh.
This is wonderful.
Before we get into anything, everybody was all here early congratulating me, so thank you. So Annie Bear said, woohoo, congratulations, Kaylee, love seeing you shine. Thanks, Annie Bear. And Jamie popped on too. Where is she? There's Jamie. Hello.
Hello. Let's go.
Yes, exactly. You got it. And then, of course, my mom. She said, so proud of you. You covered some great topics. And there's some more amazing topics coming soon.
Oh, your mom is living in Radiant.
Yes, she is. It's my mom.
Oh, okay. Note to self.
Anybody see her in chat? Say hi. Actually, 37 years ago yesterday. Thanks to her, I'm here.
Well, your dad had something to do with it too.
She'd say not really, but yeah.
Your contribution.
He was there for a minute.
Yeah, you got it exactly. There's a whole story. We'll get into it after the show.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry, Mom. I don't at 10:37 p.m. Oh, I love it. Mm-hmm. Your mom knows exactly the time of your birth. How awesome is that?
Apparently I was going to be evicted otherwise. So it was things I did not need to know.
By the way, you should. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's awesome.
This is the one problem with having your mom watch your show.
I don't think it's a problem.
I think I was going to say, I don't think it's a problem at all.
Yeah.
You might get more information than you wanted, but
you know.
By the way, there's somebody, there's probably lots of people laughing, so.
Yes, there is. There's actually somebody laughing backstage that maybe we should introduce.
Who is that? Ooh. Who's that?
It's Linda de Gonzalez. Hey!
Hi, congratulations, Kaylee. This is a wonderful achievement. Good for you. It's hard work. It's fun, but it also requires a considerable amount of effort. So congratulations on your achievement.
And I was looking so forward to what the next year is going to bring. As everybody said, this past year were some amazing topics. And especially the next couple of shows. I can't wait. Actually, I'm going to tell you guys about them now because, as I said, I can't wait. So the next show after today is May 12th. And it's going to be about the True Sight Oracle. So you guys may, if you follow Gerald, may have seen him talking about this lovely deck. But what I'm actually doing is coloring it in.
Oh, how fun.
Oh, cool.
So you guys can come hang out with me. I actually just today got myself a fun document camera, so hopefully it'll work and I can show kind of color live, and you guys can come hang out and maybe bring your own coloring if you want, and we'll just hang out for the hour, chat. Yeah, purchase responsibly. Yes, exactly. But yeah, so that'll be on the 12th of May.
Or not.
Or not, yeah. I'm going to be coloring it in either way, so you can show up if you want. But
I think that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then May 26th, I'm super excited about this. So this wasn't initially planned, but I have a new friend. Her name is Claire, and she does sound healing. So she's going to come on and talk about sound healing with me.
Nice.
Yeah, she does sound baths and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about that. Maybe some of the instruments she uses. So if you guys have any interest in that, bring your questions.
Yes, I'm so interested in sound healing, really.
And what day is that?
That is the 26th of May. So it will be basically the end of the month. So not the next live, which is in 2 weeks, but the 2 weeks after that. So it's the 26th.
But so if people simply like and subscribe to your channel and ring the notification bell, they will be notified.
It's true.
So yeah, I love the
wonders of technology, I tell you.
speaking of wonders of technology, on June 8th. I'm actually going to be doing a Reiki demo. So basically taking you guys all through what a Reiki session looks like. So I have a friend that is coming that's going to play the role of the patient. She's already, said she's comfortable being on camera and all of that. And we're going to basically just go through the entire process so you guys can kind of have an idea of maybe what a Reiki session is like if you've never done one, never been to one, and always been curious. So we're going to do that on June 8th. And then on June 23rd, if you guys have been watching this past year, you will have seen Monica, who does the fairy orbs. So they're intuitive jewelry that she makes.
Oh, fun.
And she's going to be on again. So, yeah. But yeah, subscribe, because come July, the shows are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be on Sundays and a little bit earlier time, just because of the way our holidays are falling and such. So
cool.
Yeah.
So
that's that.
Yeah. Okay. So these are people that in Canada, and so that last person probably has an online store that doesn't ship to the United States, but would ship to Canada.
Not sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. She's actually I've been kind of following her on her Facebook, but she's actually restructuring her entire business the way she's doing things. So it's going to be a really interesting conversation, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was kind of doing it one way, and then she really wasn't, because it's intuitive jewelry. She was kind of feeling pulled one way and not the other. Like, she was just kind of making them because people were requesting them instead of feeling into it and doing it that way. And so she's really now just trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to go about this? Reassessing those values and stuff. So I think it'll be a really good conversation for anybody who has an intuitive business, actually.
Mm-hmm. Super cool.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. See, anybody else pop on? Oh, yeah. Anyway, her name's Claire. She's actually here in Ottawa as well. Let me see. So one of the things I had planned is I do have question cards. I know Gerald and Jamie tend to do question cards. So I do have these.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do some questions. All right, Annie Bear's going to go say hello to her grandson. Say hi. And she'll be right back.
So, we're guests, but you know me.
Yes.
I am that
Gerald,
guest.
please take over, because I'm awkward silence.
And, there's nothing wrong with silence. So, there are, you have three incredible guests. I mean,
yes.
I'm not comfortable being on camera.
Said the theater kid, all grown up.
I was thinking about, you doing the demo. You have a friend who's willing, she's comfortable being on the camera for the Reiki demonstration.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I'm not comfortable being on camera. No. So,
hey, if you want to fly to
Why
Ottawa,
did you not burst into flames at that statement? I won't. I'll never know.
There you go. But we could ask you questions about your year.
Sure. I'm up. I'm up for being interrogated. How you mean it? There you go. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Being interrogated.
Have you under the microscope for sure.
Haley, WooWooWonderment.
Yes.
What has been one unexpected moment of joy in the year you have been doing YouTube?
Ooh. Now you're gonna make me think.
Have we ever met?
No, anything but that.
I only do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Not
only when I have to.
Not on Mondays. Never on Mondays.
Never on Mondays.
Actually, the running
Mindless
joke in our
Monday.
family is like, hey, I just thought of something dangerous. I know.
I say something similar.
Oh, trying to think.
I have an idea.
Oh my God. When Linda says I have an idea.
Run.
I was going to say gird your loins, but yes, run.
I think the biggest thing for me, honestly, with doing the YouTube channel is just having the opportunities to kind of meet other YouTubers or other kind of have those interactions. Because, for example, like with Jen and Tanis, having connections with them, I now have met other people that I've been able to have on as guests. And then they'll provide people who I can then have on as guests, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, the other part of it's the community piece. Speaking of, Louis, thanks. So you meet people that you would never meet otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, I do the morning meditations with Terry during the week, and there's, I think, a funny story from her channel, but kind of applicable to here. She, what was it, last week, beginning of last week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, she popped on and she didn't realize that her video was on mute. And so, of course, we all start chatting beforehand, like, you know, the 10 minutes leading up to the show. So she has to get through all that before we were all posting like, hey, your sound's off, your sound's off. So I think it was almost 20 minutes into the show before she saw those messages, but all 40 something of us stuck around because we all just like talking to each other too. Is that community bit? Yep. And so, yeah, that's what I absolutely love about all this. You know, you guys can bring your questions. I'm just as curious as the rest of you. That's why I started the channel, actually, is that I love all of this stuff. I love learning about all this stuff, being a forever, you know, student. And yeah, just sharing that joy and that excitement with everybody.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that. I'm glad to hear you still have that sense of joy and, you know, the wonderment, hence the name WooWooWonderment.
Yes.
You know, because if it's not fun, you know, when it becomes not fun, Gerald's out.
Yeah.
I'm taking my prop and my fan and I'm going home.
So we have a question from the Peanut Gallery. And my mom. So she says, do you have a favorite show from the past year? And yeah, if anybody in the chat there, if you have any questions you want to ask me, I guess post them in the chat. A favorite show. Part of it for me is remembering back to the shows I've done. I'm like, what have I done? I'm trying to think. I mean, I always love like the ET shows just because it's an area that I'm, you know, always find exciting and not a lot of people talk about, I find. I loved doing the crystal healing one as well. That was a more recent one with Tanis. And that one was where I've actually had the experiences myself doing crystal baths and stuff like that. So we talked about that. So that was really, really cool. Especially where it's modalities that I'm going to be doing, that I'm doing in my own business. So yeah, so those of you that have been kind of, again, following me through the year, I started my own business in January. So I've been doing that along with the YouTube stuff. And I'm loving being able to even integrate that into this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, they're saying they love the cooking shows. Yeah, those are some of my favorites too, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a kitchen witch. I'm not going to lie.
Awesome.
Does your mother know this?
What? That I'm a kitchen witch?
Kitchen witch?
Oh, yeah. I get it from her.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Totally. As Tanis told her when she did her, like, my mom got a reading from Tanis the first time she met Tanis. Tanis looks at her point blank in the eye and says, you know, she got it from somewhere, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
On the spot there.
Yeah.
So
I hold that over her head sometimes, but you know.
In doing all of this, Kaylee, what surprised you the most? Right? In this process of like creating and sharing and all, like what kind of, you know, was like, ooh, I didn't expect that or realize that, or?
For me, I think the biggest bit has been through high school and stuff like that. I could, like, public speaking, you know, it's almost like in Princess Diaries, you know, makes me want to puke and run the other direction. You know, I'd get, you know, the shaky voice and like the hands would go like, you know, shaking and everything. But like here, it's like, it's natural. It's, you know, I've not had any of those struggles. And I think that was a worry when I first started out, that I'm like, I'm going to completely go blank. I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, you know, it's going to be a complete mess. But, you know, proof is in the pudding otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has helped confidence too.
Kaylee, what would you, if you had this to do all over again, would you do anything differently or not?
I think I've done it right in that I'm only doing it every 2 weeks. I think if I had done it every week or something like that, I'd be regretting it. But because I'm doing, no, just that. Because,
no, I'm chuckling because I'm the guy who had 10 shows last week.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realize I had 10 shows.
Oh, no.
And,
You
you know,
didn't realize it.
It was like, how'd that happen?
Yeah, because like, especially where I have like my 9 to 5 weekly, like full-time job on top of everything else, it was just like, yeah, okay, 2 weeks is manageable. So I don't think, at least where I'm at right now, I wouldn't change anything at the moment. I'm actually very happy with how everything has gone and how it's going.
That's a bit of advice I tell people if they want to reach out to me. And I mean, I have some experience, and it's just like, be consistent, have a consistent schedule.
And actually, I think that was the biggest thing, is before I even started my YouTube channel, Gerald mentored me first. He answered all of my questions and said, this is what I've learned from the years that I've been doing it. You know, don't make this mistake. Don't do, you know, that kind of stuff. And that, I think, was the biggest help.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Oh, so my mom said, yes, it has helped you with your confidence. So there you go.
Leave that up there for a second. What's that like to soak in, to hear this person say it's helped with your confidence?
To hear it from your mother.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So do I. That's deeply, deeply moving for me, an affirmation like that.
Well, yeah, and especially where, like, as you say, people noticing those changes. I was having a conversation on Saturday with a friend, and she's like, even from a difference from like a year ago, from when I met you, like, it's just, and it's like, yeah, I'm even noticing it in myself, which is huge. So as it say, Annie Bear said, I remember when you emailed me and I had no idea how to respond. When you asked if I wanted to do something, I practically hid under my blankets. I'm so proud of you, Kaylee. And I admire your example. Well, you're so welcome on the show anytime. Shoot me an email. I'd love to have you on, Annie Bear.
Well, and her next comment.
Yeah, this.
Right?
Yeah.
Your authenticity. And that's it. Like, you are you.
Yeah.
No matter what. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yes. Yep.
And I was like, and I'm going to sit with that for a second.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take it in.
That's right, Annie Bear. Yeah, he gives very helpful advice.
I'm glad to do it.
It's true.
Thanks, Fatima. Thanks for dropping in.
So here's a question for you, right? Because you bring you to the show. And so there is that piece. But if your show was a living being, like if it had its own personality, what would that be? Like, you've done this for a year now.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think would embody the show?
What's really funny is what popped in my head was like the character of Matilda and like Matilda the musical.
Love that. I love that.
I think it's the whole idea of where, you know, she has that imagination that she just lets run wild, that no matter how the, you know, the big and ugly want to squash it, she just keeps trucking, and, you know, in the end everything works out for the best. And I love musicals, so, you know,
this gets the Yay!
I know Gerald could do it too. There.
Yeah.
I don't have a map.
Okay, so I'm curious. Linda, how would you answer that question?
If my show had a personality,
Yes.
if it was a being, what being would it be? It would. No, I can't say that.
Now you have to.
Okay, so last week I talked about what the inside of my brain is like. Okay, Gerald, you were there. The inside of my brain, there is a monkey jumping on a trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
The monkey is jumping incessantly. The monkey is on coke or crack. I can't tell.
Yeah.
And chanting the Bhagavad Gita and playing the tambourine all at the same time. This is why I cannot sleep. Okay. Now
I love that visual though.
That just sounds fantastic.
This is what's going on in my head all the time. It doesn't stop. There's always all the time.
Mhm.
And it's because it's attention deficit disorder, obviously, right? And it's a superpower in a lot of ways, and in a lot of other ways it trips me up. But I have learned some excellent monkey on coke. I wish I'd thought of
Wait a minute. Welcome to Linda Day Gonzalez, Monkey on Coke.
No, Gerald. I was like, welcome to Linda Gonzalez and Monkey on Coke.
There you go. Perfect.
That was way too Xanax. Okay, sorry.
Here, I'll look this up.
Coke.
Yeah, I'm not going to shout into that. I'm not going to shout into my microphone.
Oh no, well, no, you can't, but I'm certainly willing to shout into my Chromebook. That's not. I don't think that's what my channel is like, though. That's just the inside of my head. And what's my? Gee, I don't even know how to answer that. I think that it's a being that is basically gentle and calm. I know you don't believe me, but very, very supporting and accepting and kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Annie Bear's answer.
Yeah. Me too. That's very Annie Bear.
Mine's wearing.
I can picture that too.
Crookedly with falling down striped socks and up in a tree.
I love her so much, Annie Bear.
I feel like she's hanging upside down by her knees.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Singing a little bit.
Yeah.
Humming at the same time.
There you go. Yeah. See?
I love that.
Well,
I
I
like long stocking vibes.
So yeah,
I love that. That's a good description. So I was thinking, okay, what kind of personality and person would my show be? A 12-year-old who has consumed 2 liters of sugar soda and 2 bags of Sour Patch Kids and washing it down with a pot of coffee.
Yep.
No, I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. Like in terms of, intellectually, that's absolutely accurate. But on a feeling level,
this called me out, everybody. You know, this is the monkey.
This is breaking news, folks, because nobody knew this.
It
was a big secret. Extrovert AF indeed. But in terms, like on a feeling level, it's not that at all. You make such a safe space for people to really be who they are and say what they have to say and be in their truth. It's a lovely space to be in, you know, and especially for someone like me. It's more than just that 12-year-old high on sugar and caffeine.
Well,
although there is that aspect, but that's just one aspect.
Well, it's certainly caffeinated and unfiltered. And I will say, sometimes 12-year-olds, when you listen to them, they drop those gems.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
It's like, dang.
I love adolescent girls. I just well, not that way, but because they will just like drop it in front of you and walk away.
Yes.
It's
there's no filter.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Jen?
What about me?
Yeah, your channel.
I don't know if I can do this without Tanis. She might.
Well, we can ask her later and we'll post it in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not one of us versus the other.
No,
this is kind of both of us taking on both roles. But think of it like Wise Old Sage meets Mischievous Woodland Sprite, right?
Yeah.
Like there's this.
I like that.
Right? Like we go from everything with like cosmic wisdom to I just spilled the coffee all over my computer to like deep soul conversations to deep belly laughs, right? That ability to kind of, in one moment there's this like, oh yes, and the next moment you're like, did they really just say that?
Well, like the show today, we were talking about like, I can't remember the exact like topic, but by the end of it, we were talking about farts. Like,
yes.
I love it.
Super serious, and then the card they pulled for home play was just like completely. I mean, it made sense with what we had been talking about, but it was just.
Was that like, what the card say? Pull my finger or something like that?
It's talking about our ability to let ourselves, be all that we are, right? Because the card itself was about releasing shame, right? And recognizing that, even our bodily functions are release that shame. But there was the way that it said it, and now I have to pull this back out again because I really.
While you're pulling it out, Jen, Beth just said Jennifer, the quiet tiger, and I like that.
Aw, cool.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah, that farts are natural musical occurrences.
Come on, you have to admit, farts are funny. Farts are funny, just inherently. They're hilarious.
They are.
They're very funny.
If you don't believe me, go fart in the tub.
Not wrong.
Life advice.
That's music.
Hilarious.
The greatest is if you have. Now I'm giving way too much away here. Not okay. But when you have like a good gas roll and you can like play it out a little.
Yeah.
And drop just the people you don't like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's even better.
Create some space around you. I'm sorry, I need my space.
I'm just like going, life advice from Monkey on Crack.
Fart in a bathtub, I guess.
Fart in the bathtub, yes. Yes.
It actually sounds like a really interesting like country band or something. I don't know.
Farts in a tub.
Farts in a tub. There you go.
That's my new channel. I gotta stop.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Last therapy, everybody.
This is
raising. Hey, laughing. We are raising our vibrations.
God, that felt good. Why do I want a cigarette?
I was actually looking at Annie Bear's comment above that, and I thought it said, "I saw a shart."
I hope not. That can be a bit messy. Like,
Sure.
hey, at least he was considerate. You have to give him that. You have to give him credit.
Yes.
That's impressive, actually. That's really impressive in terms of thoughtfulness and consideration and image management.
Yes. 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 Did you see Sally Salron's? Your personal area.
Duck and cover.
Oh no, do not go under the covers. Do not go under the
Oh, I'm starting to hurt. Don't make me hurt.
You said there was another one I'd missed. I saw Salrod saying happy anniversary.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Sal, hi, Sal Rods.
Yes.
Oh,
I love that personal affairs raid siren. That's good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Everybody screenshot that.
So I do have a question for you. What advice would you give to somebody who has just started their channel or is considering starting a channel?
So advice. Do what you love. Like, people can give you their opinions, but they're just opinions. Because you don't actually, the big one I remember from talking to Gerald, and I think talking to Tanis as well, was don't put on a personality, because then you have to try and maintain that personality, that mask, or whatever you do, that character that you create. And it's only maintainable for so long. Yeah. So when you guys, were commenting about, authenticity and stuff like that, I went right into this channel being like, it's me. It's much like we talk about in Reiki practice or energy healing practice or anything else. You're not for everybody. You'll find your people. The people that want to stick around and hang out and have a good time, they'll stick around.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm lazy. I cannot sustain, I can hardly sustain my personality, my own self, without trying to make up something else. Right. I've got to remember the story.
Yeah.
So
I can barely hang it together. I mean, hold it together, on a day-to-day basis. So, well, I mean, it's not true anymore, but I can't be bothered with making something up that I think will people will like as if I cared.
Right.
I mean, I sort of do, but I don't.
Well, one of the big things I think starting out I was really, really worried about was finding topics to talk about and stuff like that. But it seems to be when I'm like, oh, I have nothing to talk about, or I don't know what to do, the universe is like, here's
or
here's a guest, or so
same
much
thing
like anything else, manifest it.
Yeah, it's just handed to me on a silver platter. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And this is where, like, even with the cards and stuff that we pull, like at the end of the show, we're the ones to talk about, and it always matches kind of the energy of what we're talking about. It's like, you can't, like, we always say you can't make this stuff up, and as long as you're being authentic with it, it just rolls, and you're like, oh, okay.
I love what Beth said here. She said, the advice my yoga teacher gave me when I started teaching yoga: teach what you know. So I've started that with things I feel comfortable with, and that's exactly how I started out too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I had, Tanis and Jenny had a couple of years under their belts as far as that. So, starting out with them as both guests, but they could kind of help me host, and same goes for Gerald. I was able to kind of learn as I'm learn as I'm doing. And then I've just kind of built from there. So it's just been, that's what I would say, reach out. Don't be worried about asking questions. That's how you're going to learn. So,
And the other thing that I found when I started my channel was that people in the community are really, really helpful.
Yes.
I got a lot of help from Gerald. I got help from Allie, various other people that, I can't remember who, but, people would give me advice, and they would say, don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. You don't need to manage subscribers until you've got like 100, because the only reason for that is so you don't get trolls. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Yeah, that kind of that, and that was really helpful to me, and it helped me not spin out with my overthinking, you know.
Well, and that was the big thing starting with my channel too, is, you know, talking about like numbers and stuff like that. I started the channel for myself. I'm like, if I get 20 people and that's it, then at least those 20 people are wanting to watch, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm much more than that, and I'm very grateful for that, but it's not why I started the channel to, you know, you see these people becoming millionaires and stuff like that because of YouTube, you know, like it's not why I did it, and it's not why I'm going to do it. If it gets to that point, then I'm going to stop, because that's not why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, and I do think you know, Richie gave me some good advice from Longman Tarot. It was just like going, realize that the majority of the people who will watch your show will watch it on playback.
Yes, and I found that too.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, you gave me the same advice. You gave me the same information, and it's I believe it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Butterfly readings with Linda popped in. Thank you. And there were some other.
The dogs are asking questions. Does anybody?
I
know?
She has very cute dogs.
Yeah.
So, Kaylee,
Just channeling.
do I understand correctly that you're from Nova Scotia?
I was born in Nova Scotia.
Okay. Did you grow up there?
That's a complicated question for me.
I just wondered.
My dad was in the military, so I was born in Nova Scotia. We then moved to California. Here to Ottawa the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I lived in Germany.
Because when you were talking, you were talking earlier about your interest in ETs.
Yes. Yeah.
And and I wondered if you knew anything about Shag Harbor, the Shag Harbor incident in 1967, I believe it was. I know it's a long time before you were born. It was a long time before I was born, because, you know, I'm 26 years old. I just had a rough life. So do you know anything about that? Like, are you familiar with that incident?
The name is familiar, but I couldn't tell you like details of it. I may have heard about it at some point, but I don't know anything about it. I can definitely go and research it down.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's all right. I was just curious.
Kelly, slow down. It was just a question. She's not giving you an assignment. Okay?
No, but it now has me curious.
I love that.
It's an interesting story. It's an interesting story, and it continues to have repercussions. One of the things that's interesting about it is that the Minister of Defense at the time acknowledged it publicly.
Interesting.
Wow.
So, you know, Kaylee, you can invite Linda de Gonzalez on the show to talk about this.
Linda doesn't know that much about it. Linda's
Linda switched over to third person because
no, but I could have Linda on maybe with Gerald to talk about Akashic Records.
I don't know anything about Akashic Records.
I only know what
Linda and I were talking about Akashic Records.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. We have very different ways of approaching the records, and it's very cool how we each receive the information differently and from each other, but also apparently very differently from other Akashic Records readers. So yeah, I'm happy to explore that topic with anybody. Yeah,
I'll email you. Seeing it live as it happens.
Yes.
And Annie Bear was asking if I got myself a present.
Oh, did you?
Well, I mean, it was my birthday yesterday, which helps. But yes, I did. I got myself a couple new decks because, of course, here we go. We have what we call indigo or chapters, which would be like Barnes and Nobles in the States.
Yeah.
And of course, so I go because they give you a birthday coupon. And so I got myself.
You can't waste that. You have to go.
No, right? Because you get like the 20% off, but then you get extra points as well that you can then put towards more books. Anyway, but I got myself a new deck. But then while you're there, you also have to go to the clearance section. And lately, especially, they've been putting a bunch of tarot and oracle decks in the clearance section.
In chapters?
Yeah.
Both Linda and I.
I'm
Linda's like, see you later.
Yeah. Did you notice? You said, well, you have to go to the clearance section, and they've been putting, tarot and oracle decks in there. Both Linda and I leaned toward the camera.
Purchase responsibly.
Please tell us more. It's okay.
I can show you some of them if you want.
Yes, I think.
Yes, please.
Stand up here. I'm gonna have to stand up.
Oh my God, she's got legs.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
Haley.
look everywhere.
Haley, your mom just said, start the car.
Hey, she was the one that said stop buying more decks, so I got slightly in trouble. Everybody got angry at her for a second.
And that is where Annie Bear shops, in the clearance section.
Yeah, see?
Me too. I start there. I know stores by where their clearance sections are, and I start there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, this is
And I know where all the best hospital thrift stores are.
This is a newer one, but both Gerald and Linda made me do it.
Good deck. Best deck I have. Deck I love the most. Yes. 100% approval rating from me.
That one's new. Well, as you guys saw this one, so it's somewhat new. It was a Kickstarter though, so it doesn't really count. Do we have any others back there? Well, there's this one, I guess. This isn't as new. I didn't get it on my birthday, but this is another one I'm really, really loving right now.
Celtic Goddess Oracle deck.
And I'm going to be doing a whole go through of all of my decks. I think sometime in June. I have it scheduled already. So, but the one I actually got myself for my birthday is this one. So I fell in love with the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
That looks pretty.
Yeah, I really, really love the illustrations. I'm still getting comfortable with the tarot, but I feel like this is one that I'll actually pull out and use regularly versus some of my other ones.
Here's the back of that deck.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a gorgeous deck.
Wow.
Oh, look.
Cool.
And the High Priestess card happened to be the one that I pulled out.
Awesome.
I like that.
Yeah. I've not even seen that deck. And I go and I check the sections all the time when I'm in the system.
That one wasn't on clearance, sadly. That one was the one I used my coupon on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny. Owls have been coming up lately for me, which is hilarious. But this is one of the ones that was on clearance for $10.
Mm-hmm.
Tarot landscapes. Oh,
yeah. It was the one that I messaged Gerald and was like, I think you need to get this one.
Yeah, that's a cool deck. I have that one too, and it's
the art for me.
What they would see.
Yeah,
so
for me,
character on the tarot card.
It's always the artwork.
Let's see.
Yeah, so one of my favorites. See if I can find it super quickly. So this is
this one, Beth.
Two of Wands.
Two of Wands.
And what deck is that from, Kaylee?
This is Tarot Landscapes.
Oh.
To find. I'm not gonna be able to find it now. Just watch.
Of course not. This is where your guests can be making fart noises to keep
posting more questions if you have more questions, or repost questions if I missed them.
What is it, Kaylee? So what is it that catches when you're looking at those decks?
Yeah.
What is it that makes you go, oh yeah, I want you to come home with me?
It's always been the artwork. I visually have to connect with it. Even the owl one, I looked at a bunch of others and it was just like, no, I need this deck because it was I can't remember which exact image it was. Oh yeah, it was the Four of Swords in that deck. It's the one at the very, very bottom.
Well, this is the one that Beth was talking about.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
It's beautiful. I
Yeah, it's
love
gonna be
that.
the very last card.
You know,
isn't it?
that card screams Yellowknife to me. I lived there for 12 years. Or no, 8 years. Sorry. Yellowknife? No, Yellowknife. I lived there for 4 years, Iqaluit for 8. But that's like Long Lake, along the shores of Long
Here it is.
Lake.
Found it.
That's so north.
Yeah, and then that one. That's the other one. So there was 3 that I really caught my eye. So there's the 7 of Wands, which is a penguin on an iceberg during an eclipse.
Nice.
Okay.
National Penguin Day was it Saturday? National Penguin Day?
This was another
There's
one.
a National Penguin Day.
Yes.
I
Sorry,
wish I'd
Kaylin.
known that.
No,
I had
it's
a card.
okay. This is the one of Pentacles, so I guess Ace of Pentacles. Anyway.
It's
And
another
then this
one
is the
that's-
other one. My mom will like this one. But like, just look at the colors of that card. Like, it's gorgeous.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, that was like a $10 deck. I think it retails for like $35 normally. So,
Oh, that's nice.
of course, I had to get myself another dragon deck. So I already had this one. So this one I bought last year on my birthday because I'm a dragon. I was born in 1988. And it was Year of the Dragon last year. So I'm like, okay, I'm a dragon in the Year of the Dragon. I need to get myself a dragon deck because I didn't have one. So it's actually by the same person, which I didn't realize. So
Oh, well, fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I got those, and then the other one I got, I think this was one that was on sale again for, I think, around $10, something like that, was Bird Messages.
Oh,
So I actually had another bird deck, but I was just never connecting with it. It was actually the first deck I ever bought myself. But I actually ended up passing it on to a friend. So I regifted, or passed it on.
so how many dragon decks do you have?
Only 2.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
because the way you said that, I thought you were going to say like 8.
Let me
That's
put it
a
this
very-
way. I only have 2 dragon decks, but I have 5 dragons I work with fairly regularly. So
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I was sort of expecting her to say all of them.
I wish.
Yeah.
No, I have to kind of be picky and choosy, sadly. I'm just trying to scroll back here because I know I've probably missed a bunch of comments, but
It's all right.
yeah, because like as I said, like that landscape deck was there for $10, and I'm like, this is a perfectly nice, beautiful, it's a perfectly good deck. I was gonna make a comment, but brain, we're not going to the gutter.
How is it to use? Do you like using it? Do you like working with it?
Yes, I do actually. I actually did showed a friend, because she was over at my place for Easter, and I showed her how to do a Celtic cross with it. And I know it's a good deck when I'm doing the reading for myself, and it's like calling you out, calling you out, calling you out, calling you out, calling you out. I'm like, okay, yeah. Yep, you're good to you'll do.
Yeah, you can see me. You understand me.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
We can work together. Yeah.
Exactly, got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good
Well,
question.
good question, Annie Bear.
Yeah.
But there was a question of somebody asked, what Chinese astrology were you? Was it Beth had asked that?
So I'm year of the dragon, and then I think she asked what element. I want to say Earth.
Okay.
Earth dragon, something like that. I mean, in the regular zodiac, I'm a Taurus. But
I'm a
yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I think I'm Earth, if I remember correctly.
yeah. I'm a fire horse.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm a water snake.
Hmm.
So Basically, you turn up like what a Scorpio is, and you turn it up to about 1,000 degrees.
I wish I could say I was an air just to kind of like,
Yeah, big the 4 elements.
but I'm an earth goat.
Beth is a wood horse. Oh, and Lois is a fire horse as well.
I was actually going to ask Linda if she knows what human design she is.
Linda, do you know what human design you are?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I did the chart thing, but I forgot. I don't know what it is. I mean, off the top of my head, I forgot.
Only reason I asked is because Gerald, Jen, and I are all projectors. So I was just going to be really curious if you were as well.
If I am, I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I might not be. I don't know.
No, it's okay. It's just where we were talking about each other's, signs and stuff. It would just be curious.
So we'll go back to the Annie Bear question.
Annie Bear's question. Where to go? I think it's up here. There we go. Found it. Birthday wish for my channel. I mean, I'd ask just for another year of the same of what this past year was because it was amazing. There's a couple of guests I'd really like to have on that I've not had the opportunity to have on yet, so maybe manifesting them. At one point, I was trying to have a show with Jen, Tennis, and Lisa, who they do a Galactic Gab together, and I would have loved to have all four, the 4 of us. So I still am hoping that I can manifest that to happen at some point in the future, just because I think that'd be a really fun round table. As far as questions and stuff like that. Wish bigger. Is that the whole if money weren't an object?
You know what? Those are some of my least favorite questions. I hate that. If money were no object.
Actually, if you want to talk like philosophical kind of like in regards to one of those questions, so this will tell you a little bit about me, which it was a very interesting. So it was the last Lionsgate, so August. Yeah. And of course, Tannis always runs a really lovely kind of meditation in regards to the Lionsgate. And she said, if there was no money, there was no, nothing that would stop your dream from coming true, what would your dream be? And of course, I had to go into it not having any idea. And it ended up being that I ended up having this visualization of being in a house. I was sitting at a desk and I could draw the layout of the house and everything. And then a little dog kind of comes in, and then this woman comes in as well. And I know that she's either my girlfriend or my fiance or my wife. And it was like, if there was money, like I could have been like, I want to be a millionaire, I want to have a mansion. And it was just, I wanted to have this quaint little life. And that was what I wanted. And it was like my own internal mind. I'm like, it took me like a good probably 2 weeks to process it, being like, okay, if money was no consequence, this is what we want. And so, yeah, it was just very interesting.
I like that.
I love that so much. That's a nice dream.
There you go.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd love to be able to travel. Again, I mean, I've traveled my entire life. As I was mentioning, I lived in Germany for 2 years, and that was when I was 8 years old. So I really did have the opportunity to kind of see the world very, very young, which kind of shapes you. So yeah, to be able to, I mean, even with the channel, it would be really cool to maybe travel somewhere and do a like on location, something like that might be fun.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. I'll work on it.
You get the basement suite, Mom.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. I get my love of water from her. We're both water babies. Yep. Because she was born in Newfoundland. She's a Newfoundlander.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But again, she, much like me, her dad was in the military, so we never stood in one place very long.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow.
But I think actually that's kind of helped my channel, in all honesty, like reflecting back just now, having that worldly view. I think
Yes.
kind of, you're a lot more accepting of different cultures, a lot more open to ideas that maybe you wouldn't be otherwise, open to more foods than you would normally be otherwise. So yeah, I think that's definitely just helped, not hindered.
I love that.
Yeah. They are very fluffy.
They're extremely fluffy and really good dogs. My cousin raises them.
Wow.
I was going to say, I'm going to take the opportunity to self-promote. I got my deck. You guys can purchase it. It's my dog deck. Lenormand dogs. There's a link on my channel. And it has a Newfoundland dog in it.
Yeah, that's what I saw that and I thought, oh, that's like perfect.
But yeah, you can get, and actually I have the miniature version. There are two now, like the small, like so this is like a regular, and then there's a smaller version that's like that
The
size.
mini deck.
Pocket size, yeah. Well, because I originally had my own that I made, right? So I handmade the original.
Yes.
And then this is now the other one I printed like standard size. So, yeah.
But isn't that usually how people make their tarot decks? Like they watercolor them, or they use, I don't know, whatever they've got, pencil crayons or whatever.
Yeah,
and
so that's what I did with mine. Is I hand drew the pictures, but then I had scanned them and printed them, so they're actually just stuck onto playing cards, which doesn't make them easy to shuffle.
Oh,
yeah. So that's why I eventually uploaded them so that they'd be more shuffleable. Like Gerald has an original. If you're nice, maybe he'll show it to you.
Maybe.
You only have to ask him. You don't even have to be nice. Show us the original, Gerald. Please.
No.
Okay.
Linda, you have to ask for it.
I can't keep straight. You guys are bringing out the worst in me.
There's another snort,
Perfect.
people.
Perfect.
Well, and I think, and this is a really good time to remind everybody to like and subscribe.
If you want more fun like this.
Well, it's easy to have. I mean, I don't have any responsibility to do any readings or to like stay focused or stay anywhere. I can just, be my silly self. This is great. I hardly ever get a chance to do this with friends,
Oh, I should maybe try and do that more often then. Put it on my thing, on my ideas for shows.
My to-do list. Okay, yeah. Today I'm going to be silly. Come and laugh with me.
You need to have more fun.
Hey, I've always been told my, childlike joy and fun silliness is a gift. So
the reason that's funny. The reason that's funny is because that's what the Akashic Records Masters have been saying to me for months and months and months, like probably a year. And I every single time I do readings, at least one person gets told, you need more fun in your life. You need to create more joy in your life. So, yeah.
Otherwise, then it just feels like homework.
Well, I mean, life has its ups and downs. You have to create the joy that helps you keep going. You have to look for ways to create it. You have to look for ways to to laugh,
And
know.
we,
And
yeah.
as
Yeah.
Amber said, and just be yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We need more joy these days.
Beth, monkey on coke kind of fits. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe I'll do a monkey on coke edition.
That'd be
I
like
actually-
caffeinated and unfiltered, but on steroids.
Well, I'm thinking that, I made a joke with somebody, Amanda, Tropical Empress in Spirit, because she drinks a lot of those caffeinated beverages. And I was like going, maybe I could do a show where I drink one of those and I do readings while I'm drinking, a show like that. And, it'd be caffeinated and unfiltered.
Literally.
Dancing on the edge.
Well, I'm like going, I don't think I want to drink those things. So,
No.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Kaylee. I happen to be shuffling the deck.
Yes.
Did you want a card for, the year?
Ooh, sure. If you're offering.
I mean, I'm offering, but I don't want you to, don't feel obligated.
No. I think it's a good idea. I think everybody else is going for it. So sure.
You get to see what's behind the magic curtain.
Embiggener. Oh my God. Look, there is. I didn't know there was all that back there.
There's a lot back here.
I was going to do a Gerald, avert your gaze, but.
It's all cards. Because,
Yeah.
more cards.
Left, middle, or right?
Left. As soon as you said left, it pinged. So left.
Top card, middle card, bottom card.
Top.
Aw. How about the
Oh, that's perfect. I love that.
how about the wishes fulfilled card?
Perfect.
I love that.
I got big chills. That's so wonderful.
Love that. So there you go. Wishes fulfilled.
Gerald.
You're welcome. Well, you were the one who picked it.
I know, but you made it. You manifested it into the universe, so I could pick it.
Thank you. You're the one who picked it.
Own it. Just own it.
See, this is the problem. This is why people, reconsider having me as a guest on the channel.
No. We can just sass each other back and forth. It's fine.
Yes.
Tarot standoff.
Sass off. Yeah, there you go.
It's like the new stash off.
Yeah. Oh my God, I need to write that down. Because that would be a really fun
Show. Tarot. Yeah.
It could be a tarot stash off, and it could be
Yeah.
a roast for me. It could be celebrating an anniversary or something like that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And you just have a whole bunch of tarot readers on and everybody reads and oh man, yeah. Everybody gives you a birthday
Breaking
reading.
news, everybody.
10 readers, I'll give you a birthday reading. Oh my God, I can see it.
It's all right. I have the ability to make it private.
And have everybody else miss out? No.
Oh no. Oh, I like that. Okay, who's next?
You can do it subscription only. There you go.
Okay. I have 2 cards for you, Kaylee.
Ooh, okay.
This is from the What We've Forgotten deck. So I'm not going to say a whole lot because I think you probably are familiar enough with the deck that you can. But the reason that this gave me a big chill is because what I got for you was unity. Come on, focus. There you go. Unity. And the second card is star consciousness. Now, pay attention to that outpouring of, well, I see it as divine light, but you can call it star consciousness, whatever you like. that's surrounding this, and take a look at the chakras that are lighting up in response.
Right.
Like that is significant. It's wonderful. To me, this is a confirmation for the work that you're doing. This is a heavy duty validation. And unity, of course, is your part of the universe. You are an important part of the universe. The universe needs you and needs what you're doing. I don't know if that's what the book says. That's what I said.
It works for me. I'm just sitting with it for a second.
I love it. I love it for you. I love it for you. I pulled them and I got big chills and I thought, oh yeah, she's gonna love this. It is, your coming year.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, good for you. This is so wonderful.
For a moment, and then I'll tell you. So I also got two. I thought I got one, but they were stuck together. And I got deep sea diving. And I think that this has a lot to do with how far you've come, right? It says way of the mystic, learning through experience and depths. And so much of what you shared is about that journey, right? And that journey doesn't end. It keeps on going. Right. And it's going to keep on going beautifully for you because I got she who flows.
Oh, perfect.
Right? And that is ease, being open to change, going with the flow of life. And that is what you do. And that's what you embody. And you do it here on the show. And it is incredible.
Yep. Well, thank you all. Thank you, everybody, for being here. As I said, well, here's to another year.
Yes, a wonderful year.
And yes, subscribe. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff coming up. If you weren't here at the beginning of the show, next couple shows, I'm just going to go over the next two because you can watch back if you want to know about the other ones. But the next show is on the 12th. We're going to be coloring the True Sight Oracle. You can come and see if I get my document camera set up and functional. And then on May 26th, we're doing a show on sound healing. So I have a very special guest coming and talking about sound healing if you guys are interested in that. But with that, we will say good night and thank you all for being here and bye.
Happy birthday, Kaylee.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Bye.